color directly onto 3D prints? How do alcohol markers work on PLA filament? In this video, we'll explore these questions, and we'll also have a bit of fun with my obscenely large collection of Copic markers. Hand painting a 3D printed piece with acrylic paints is a time-honored tradition across the maker community. But painting a model is not so much changing its color as it is placing a new one on top. That's not what I'm after here today. I want to play a bit with coloring the filament itself. Now, I'm not the first person to venture into such territory. Both the amazing Billie Ruben and the incredible Devin Montes have done fantastic work experimenting with applying permanent marker directly to the filament to yield beautiful gradient results. That said, I have something else in mind for this video, and it involves the strange and curious way that alcohol-based markers act on an FDM print. I created this wavy abstract container, which was printed in vase mode on my Prusa Mark III's with a 0.2mm layer height, with the explicit plan to attack it with my Copic markers. I designed it with the end result in mind, plotting curves and edges to match my vision for its color. Hold on though. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Where did this vase come from? Let's rewind a bit. This lovely little wavy vase was made in Fusion 360 by building a spline segment and repeating it with circular symmetry. I purposely chose to make hard, jagged edges because I wanted to create a natural way for the colors to meet and blend together. Once I had that, it was simply a matter of having fun with surfaces. Surfaces in Fusion 360 function quite differently to the usual solid body forms, as it uses something called NURBS to create a smooth, morphable surface based on splines and vertices. With surfaces, you can create smooth, interesting organic shapes like this one. I played around with the surface splines until I got a shape that I liked, filled the holes at the top and bottom, and finished up the form to transform it back into a traditional solid. I wasn't sure at the time if I wanted to print it in vase mode or with a defined thickness, so I created both versions just in case. Where was I? Yes, finished print, ready to color. I did a bit of testing prior to starting this project to determine how alcohol-based markers, like these Copics, reacted with PLA filament. The results were very interesting, as the ink both flows in the grooves of the print, blending and bleeding to either side, as well as staining the filament quite vibrantly. It also turns out that a spritz of fixative applied as a base coat helped with adhesion, so I made sure to cover the whole print before beginning. Right from the start, I was struck by how the markers laid ink down on the filament. I'd expected the unexpected to some extent, but I didn't anticipate that the different hues would react with wild inconsistency. Some colors spread evenly across the surface, while others pooled and clung at the edges. The hard corners of the design worked exactly as I hoped they would, giving me a guide to follow with the marker tip. It almost felt like a three-dimensional coloring book, which, as it turns out, is deeply satisfying. Applying an additional coat of fixative after the first pass with the markers allowed me to go back and apply a second layer of color to address any unevenness. Or at least, that was my intention. I was surprised to see how some markers continued to defy me by lifting up the fixative layer and smudging the base color. Who'd have thought alcohol markers had such a mind of their own? Still, the results are pretty cool if you ask me. I'm really happy with how this came out, and it was a lot of fun playing with one of my favorite traditional art mediums in a new and exciting way. I'm not sure I would have had the idea to combine Copics and PLA prints if it weren't for recently designing and 3D printing a new home for my collection of art markers. It definitely inspired me to pick them up again. If you like the marker stand and want to print your own for free, check out the links in the description. As far as the vase model goes, it will be available exclusively to my Patreon patrons, so make sure to subscribe if you want to get your hands on it, as well as a bunch of other cool stuff. my coloring book vase is certainly awesome, but it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this area of exploration. I only used alcohol-based markers, but what about water or oil-based? What other techniques could be applied to get a whole new look or effect? I hope that you'll continue where I left off, using your own creativity to discover where else this can go. Please share your own experiments in the comments below. I'd love to see what you come up with. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure into how different physical mediums play together. If you like watching me get my hands dirty while trying new artsy things, you're in the right place. So make sure you subscribe or you might miss something extraordinary. Also, feel free to leave me a comment to let me know what you liked, what you think, what you want to see more of. Until next time, keep creating.